This video is about the alpha loved the weakest wolf and his pack mocked him. If this story captivates you, please like the video, share it with loved ones, and write in the comments how it touched your heart. The moon hung low in the night sky, casting a silvery glow over the lush forest surrounding the Hawthorne Pack's territory. The air was thick with tension, a palpable energy coursing through the trees and the earth beneath. Here, in the heart of this ancient wilderness, the pack gathered for the evening ritual, their wolf forms flickering beneath the light. Elias, the formidable alpha of the Hawthorne Pack, stood tall and proud, his silver fur glistening like starlight. His emerald eyes scanned the assembled wolves, authority radiating from him like a beacon. Yet, despite his commanding presence, his heart was heavy. He had fallen for someone who belonged to a different world, a world where strength was measured in fangs and claws. "Alpha, the moon rises high tonight," said Jace the Pack's beta, his tone laced with excitement. The others joined in, howls of camaraderie ringing through the air. But Elias felt a pang of loneliness amidst their joy. His heart yearned for the soft spirit of Asher. Asher was not like the others. He was an Omega, the weakest among them, often overlooked and underestimated. His fur was a muted brown, blending into the forest floor, and his eyes, a deep amber, held a warmth that melted Elias's stoic exterior. Every moment spent with Asher felt like a breath of fresh air, yet it was tainted with the knowledge that their bond was forbidden. "Look at him, Alpha," Jace whispered, his voice dripping with mockery. "The little mouse is just waiting for someone to save him. How can you waste your time on someone so feeble?" Elias's jaw tightened. "Asher has strengths of his own," he replied, trying to keep his voice steady. "You may not see them, but I do." "Strength? What strength?" Another pack member sneered, their laughter echoing like cruel thunder through the trees. "He can barely keep up during training. You do make a better mate choice, Alpha." The ridicule stung, and Elias felt his resolve waver. He knew how the pack viewed Asher. They saw his gentle nature as a weakness, a flaw to be exploited. But to Elias, Asher was a beacon of light in a world overshadowed by expectations and power. Asher stood at the edge of the gathering, watching with wide eyes, his heart aching at the sight of the pack's mockery. Elias had always been the sun in his dark sky, but now that light felt distant. He turned, retreating back into the safety of the woods, the laughter fading away behind him. "Where are you going?" Elias called after him, his voice a mix of concern and longing. Asher paused, his back to Elias. I need some air." His voice trembled, carrying the weight of unspoken words. Asher felt an overwhelming urge to flee, to hide from the judgment and cruelty. Elias took a step forward, his wolf instinct urging him to chase after his mate. "Don't run from me, Asher, please." The desperation in his voice made Asher's heart ache even more. "I am not running, Elias. I just don't want to be a burden to you or your pack." Asher turned, his amber eyes glistening with unshed tears. "They'll never accept me. I am just the weak one." Elias closed the distance between them, his heart racing. "You could never be a burden to me. I see you, Asher. I see your strength in how you care for the pack, in how you face each day despite the challenges." He took a deep breath, the scent of pine and wildflowers enveloping him. Asher looked away, shame flooding his senses. "They mock me, Elias. They see me as less than a wolf. How can you love someone like that?" His words cut deep, and Elias felt the weight of his pack's expectations pressing down on him. "I love you for who you are, not for how others see you. You are kind, resilient, and you bring light to my life in a way I never knew I needed." He reached out, brushing his fingers against Asher's hand. Asher shivered at the touch, his instincts urging him to lean into that warmth. "But what if they never accept us? What if me being your mate weakens you in their eyes? I don't want to cause you pain." Elias's heart ached for the turmoil in Asher's soul. "Being true to ourselves is the only strength that matters. I want to let the judgments dictate my heart. You are my mate, Asher, and I will fight for you." Asher's breath hitched, the weight of those words settling over him like a comforting blanket. "But how? What if they challenge you? An alpha is only as strong as his pack. They will not separate us. I will prove to them that love is not weakness, that it's our bond, our connection that makes us stronger." Elias stepped closer, their foreheads almost touching, breath mingling in the chilled night air. A flicker of hope ignited in Asher's chest. "You mean it? You'll stand against your own pack for me?" Elias nodded, determination blazing in his eyes. "For you, I would stand against the world." But that night, beneath the watchful gaze of the moon, darkness stirred among the trees. The shadows whispered of betrayal, a plot brewing within the pack that would threaten everything Elias fought for. As the winds howled, a deeper danger approached, one that sought to tear apart their fragile bond. As dawn approached, the sun began to chase away the night, casting rays of golden light over the forest. The peace was deceptive, a calm before a storm. In the heart of the pack, whispers spread like wildfire. Tensions rose, fueled by envy and fear. Some wolves couldn't comprehend Elias' choice, viewing Asher's very existence as a threat to their hierarchy, to their strength. But did you hear? The alpha saw found that Omega. One wolf spat, his eyes glinting with malice. We should challenge him. An alpha's strength is in his mate. If he is weak, he'll fall. Jace overheard them, his heart torn. He admired Elias, but the weight of the pack's expectations pressed heavily on him. You think you can take the alpha? He asked cautiously, searching their faces for any sign of reason. Why not? We can't let him weaken us. An alpha who loves an omega is an alpha who will falter. The pack members nodded, their eyes alight with a dangerous fervor. As Jace stepped back, uncertainty gnawed at him. This was not the pack he had sworn loyalty to. Elias deserved better, but could he stand against the tide of animosity brewing among his own wolves? Meanwhile, Asher found refuge in the woods, the gentle rustling of leaves soothing his troubled mind. He thought of Elias and the love that had blossomed against all odds. Yet doubts crept in, whispering of his inadequacy, of the shame he felt for being considered weak. The sun broke over the horizon, painting the sky in hues of gold and crimson. Asher took a deep breath, trying to shake off the heavy burden. But in that moment, he could feel the earth tremble beneath him, a warning that something was on the horizon, something that would threaten everything he held dear. Little did he know, destiny was weaving a tapestry of love and heartache, one that would test the bonds of allegiance, love, and sacrifice. The battle for acceptance had only just begun, and Asher and Elias were at its center, caught in a storm that would change their lives forever. As the dawn painted the sky with vibrant colors, the atmosphere in the Hawthorne pack grew thick with tension. Every wolf sensed the shift, the undercurrents of discontent swirling through the air like a brewing storm. They gathered in a clearing, their eyes casting wary glances at Elias, whose heart ached for the omega he loved. Elias, it is time to assert your authority, Jace urged, his brow furrowed with concern. You must show the pack that being alpha means making hard choices. Elias stood tall, his silver fur illuminated by the sun's rays, but inside he felt small, cornered by the expectations of his pack. I want to deny my love for Asher. My heart leads me to him, and I refuse to hide that truth. Then you will lose them, a voice sneered from the edge of the gathering. It was Derek, a fierce warrior with a reputation for ruthless loyalty to the pack. A weak mate endangers us all. You know that, Alpha. Elias narrowed his eyes, a growl forming in his throat. You know nothing of love, Derek. Asher may be an omega, but he possesses a strength none of you can see. His spirit shines brighter than any wolf here. The pack murmured, uncertainty rippling among them. Jace shot a concerned look at Elias, torn between loyalty to his alpha and the fear of rebellion brewing around him. Yes, right, Elias. The pack's unity is at stake. You must what? Elias interrupted, his voice laced with desperation. Turn my back on the one who makes me whole. Is loyalty to a pack worth sacrificing my heart? The murmurs grew louder, voices rising in anger and confusion. This is madness, someone shouted. An alpha must be strong, not led by emotion. Across the clearing, Asher stood hidden among the trees, his heart racing. The tension twisted like a knife in his chest. He had come to support Elias, but felt the weight of the pack's judgment bearing down on him. Their eyes were fierce, filled with scorn and pity. Elias, Asher whispered, his voice barely audible, trembling with uncertainty as he stepped closer. The way the pack turned to him made his breath hitch. You don't have to do this. Every moment with you is worth fighting for. Elias' resolve shone brightly, his gaze locked onto Asher's. They will learn to accept you, just as I have. Anger flared within the pack. You were willing to risk everything for him? Derek challenged, stepping forward. What kind of alpha gives his heart to a weakling? Asher felt every word cut deeper than a blade, the truth of it echoing painfully within him. I can be what they want, Elias. I can take you away from your duties. He felt an overwhelming urge to retreat, shield Elias from this chaos. Don't you dare say that. Elias' voice was fierce and wavering. He reached for Asher, their hands brushing together, igniting a spark that sent shivers of warmth through them both. You belong here with me always. But doubt loomed over Asher's heart. What if their hatred drives a wedge between us? I don't want to be the reason your strength falters. Your love is my strength, Elias replied, his emerald eyes burning with conviction. When I look at you, I see the future we could build together. I see hope. Yet hope felt fragile amidst the discord, and Asher's heart sank. Then let me go. For your pack's sake, I'll leave, and you won't have to fight for me. That? Elias's voice thundered through the clearing, silencing the pack. You are my mate, and I will not let you run away from what we have. I refuse to lose you. The pack grew restless, their growls echoing in the air, their loyalties torn. Jay stepped forward again, his voice low and strained. Elias, what if they challenge you? The challenge of an alpha is not just physical, it has the respect of the pack that holds power. Elias stood firm, refusing to back down. Then let them challenge me. I'll show them that love is the fiercest power of all, stronger than any bite or claw. And at that moment, Derek stepped forward, his gaze sharp and piercing. Then let us settle this like wolves, a challenge, you against the strongest among us, and if you win, you keep your Omega, lose, and you leave him behind. Silence fell over the clearing, tension hanging thick. Elias's heart raced. He knew he had to fight, yet the thought of losing Asher twisted his gut. You think a fight will prove my love for Asher? He challenged, his voice steady. Love cannot be measured in strength alone. Then prove it, Derek gutted, his eyes glinting with malice. Or watch as the pack turns against you. Asher's heart sank as Elias looked at him, resolve battling with fear. You don't have to do this, Elias. I can leave. I'll find another pack. One that... Elias cut him off, his voice fierce. You are not a burden, Asher. I will not let them take you away from me. But the shadows of doubt crept into Asher's heart, whispering that perhaps leaving was the right choice. I don't want to cause you pain. I love you too much to be the reason for your downfall. Elias stepped closer, desperation in his eyes. You are not the reason for my pain. You are my light. Without you, I am lost. The challenge loomed over them, a dark cloud threatening to shroud their love. As the pack watched, Elias took a deep breath, determination igniting his spirit. If I must fight for you, then so be it. I will show them our love is a strength. The pack murmured, some showing support, while others remained skeptical. Jace's heart raced, grappling with the loyalty he felt for Elias and the weight of the challenge. I'll stand with you, Alpha, he called out, his voice steady. No matter the outcome. Together, Elias replied, his gaze steady on Asher, who felt the warmth wash over him like a protective shield. Together we will face whatever comes. But that night, as the moon rose high, casting silver beams into the forest, Asher lay awake, torn between love and fear. The stillness of the woods felt heavy, and the shadows seemed to whisper dark secrets. What if I am not enough, he murmured to the night. What if I am the one who brings him down? His heart ached, and beneath the moon's watchful eye, he slipped away from the pack's territory, seeking solace among the trees. The gentle rustling of the leaves offered him a momentary reprieve from the turmoil within. But destiny had other plans. As he wandered deeper into the woods, he stumbled upon an ancient grove, the air shimmering with magic. An ethereal wolf appeared, its eyes glinting with wisdom and age. You seek to hide your heart away, little Omega, the wolf spoke, its voice like wind through the trees. But love cannot be confined by fear. Asher looked up, startled. I don't know if I can be what he needs. I am not strong like them. Strength lies not in size or ferocity, but in the courage to embrace who you are, the ancient wolf replied, its gaze unwavering. Your bond with Elias is destined, woven by fate. Let love guide you. Tears filled Asher's eyes as he felt the weight of those words. But what if I fail him? What if I am not enough for the pack he leads? Love is not about being enough, it is about being true, the wolf said, stepping closer. Embrace your heart, for it is your greatest power. Suddenly, Asher felt a surge of warmth envelop him, a connection that reached beyond the physical, tying him to Elias in ways he had never understood. I can run, I can leave him, he murmured, the realization settling in. The ancient wolf nodded, its eyes gleaming. Then stand strong in your truth, and together you shall face the challenges ahead. Love is your destiny. With newfound courage, Asher returned to the pack, heart pounding as he approached the clearing. He found Elias amidst the wolves, who were preparing for the impending challenge. The air was thick with anticipation, but fear no longer gripped Asher. Elias's gaze found his, a spark igniting between them, a bond that felt unbreakable. He came back, he breathed, relief flooding his features. I want to run away, Asher replied, his voice steady. I am not a burden, I am yours, Elias, and I'll stand by your side. As the tension thickened, Elias stepped forward, ready to face Derek and the challenge that lay ahead. I fight not just for my place as Alpha, but for the one who holds my heart. The pack watched in awe, and at that moment, the bond between Elias and Asher shimmered with a fierce light, so powerful that it forced the pack to reconsider their own perceptions. As the moon reached its zenith, casting a luminous glow over the clearing, the atmosphere thickened with anticipation. Elias stood rigid, his muscles coiled with determination, while Derek paced like a restless predator, ready to challenge the alpha. "Tonight, we prove what it means to lead," Derek growled, his eyes narrowing on Elias. "An alpha must show strength, and you've abandoned that by holding onto the weakling." Asher's heart raced, caught between fear and the strength of his love for Elias. He had never stood in the center of such tension, the pack-ass gazes piercing through him like arrows. Even the trees seemed to lean in, their whispers echoing with fate. "Derek," Elias voiced, unwavering, "you equate strength with brutality, but I know true strength lies in the heart. Asher is my mate, and it is love that gives me the power to lead." The pack murmured, some nodding in agreement while others cast wary glances. Jace stood at Elias' side, a pillar of support. "We are not here to choose sides, but to witness the strength of our alpha," he said, his voice firm. Derek smirked, shaking his head. "Do you really think love can protect you against a claw? It's a distraction, Elias. You will falter when it matters most." Asher clenched his fists, the weight of Derek's words settling heavily in his chest. He felt the urge to flee again, to hide from the judgment and cruelty, but the ancient wolf's words echoed in his mind. "Love is your greatest power." Elias. Asher suddenly called out, his voice breaking through the tension. "I believe in you. I believe in us." Elias turned, a spark igniting in his emerald eyes, and in that moment Asher felt a shift in the air, as though the forces of destiny were aligning. "Then let us show them," Elias affirmed, his voice steady. "Let us show them what our bond means." Derek took his position in the center of the clearing, muscles rippling beneath his dark fur, a predator ready to strike. "Prepare yourself, Elias. I want to hold back." Elias stepped forward, his body radiating strength and resolve, yet his heart beat with a soft spirit behind him. "Neither will I, Derek. I fight for my mate, for my pack, and for what is right." As the pack held in anticipation, the forest around them came alive, the atmosphere charged with energy. The leaves rustled like whispers of encouragement, and Asher felt a connection to every creature, every breath of life surrounding them. The challenge began with a surge of primal force, as Elias and Derek lunged at each other, their bodies colliding in a fierce display of strength. The impact reverberated through the ground, shaking the very essence of the pack. The sound echoed, a testament to the power they wielded. Asher's heart raced, his instincts screaming for him to run forward to protect Elias from the storm that was Derek. "You can do this," he shouted, voice cracking with emotion. "You are not alone." With every swipe and bite exchange, the pack held its breath. Elias fought fiercely, his movements fluid and determined, but Derek was a relentless foe, fueled by the animosity of the pack. Each blow was met with a growl of defiance, as Elias stood firm, refusing to back down. But doubt crept in, gnawing at the edges of Asher's heart. Would Elias' love for him prove to be his downfall? What if the very essence of their bond weakened him against Derek's brute strength? "Believe in yourself, Elias." Asher cried, the words bursting from his lips. "You are more than the wolf they see. You are my alpha, my love." Elias found his strength in those words, each syllable wrapping around his heart like a protective shield. He fought with renewed vigor, pushing back against the tide of darkness that threatened to engulf him. But Derek was relentless, his attacks fueled by rage and jealousy. As the fight raged on, the pack began to shift, some feeling the weight of their own loyalty to Elias. Jace's heart ached as he watched his alpha struggle, a deep longing to protect him igniting within him. "Elias, remember why you fight," he called out, voice thick with emotion. With a primal roar, Elias pushed forward, connecting with Derek's side. The alpha wolf stumbled, surprise flashing in his eyes as the pack gasped. "Love is my strength." Elias bellowed, determination fueling his voice. Asher felt his heart swell with pride, hope twinkling in his chest like stars in the night sky. "Yes, show them, Elias, show them what love can do." With each strike, Elias fought not just for his title, but for the love that bound him to Asher, love that transcended boundaries and expectations. He was no longer just the alpha, he was a wolf fighting for his mate and the future they dreamed of together. But fate is a fickle mistress. As Derek regained his footing, anger surged through him. "I will not let a weakling define what it means to be strong," he snarled, lunging at Elias with ferocity. Time seemed to slow as Elias braced himself, heart pounding. But in that moment of imminent danger, Asher felt an ancient energy stir within him, an instinct that had lain dormant for too long. He stepped forward, the sunlight catching the softness of his fur, illuminating him like a beacon. "Stop!" Asher's voice rang out, filled with an unexpected power that caught everyone off guard. It is time to see the truth. Derek paused, confusion flickering in his eyes. Elias looked back, surprise etched across his features. In that moment, Asher felt the warmth of their bond surge through him, a connection that intertwined their destinies. I am not weak, Asher continued, stepping into the clearing with newfound courage. Love is not the weakness, it is a force that binds us, that makes us stronger than we can ever imagine. The pack fell silent, astonished by the conviction radiating from Asher. You may see me as less, but I have a strength you cannot fathom. I am Elias' mate, and our love cannot be torn apart by your judgment. Elias' heart soared, pride swelling within him. He stepped beside Asher, the connection crackling in the air like electricity. Together, we are strong, he affirmed. Asher redefines what it means to be an alpha. He brings balance to this pack, light in the darkest of times. Derek's brows furrowed, uncertainty creeping into his expression. You can't be serious, a mate like that is unnatural. Asher's gaze hardened, unwavering and fierce. What is unnatural is allowing fear to dictate our hearts. Being an alpha means accepting all forms of strength, even those that challenge the status quo. A murmur began to ripple through the pack, as wolves exchanged glances, beginning to question their prejudices. He fights with heart, Jace whispered to a fellow pack member. He fights for love. Asher felt the pulse of the pack shift, a tide turning in his favor. Let love be our strength, not our weakness. Asher's presence makes us whole, and Elias' heart guides us home, he urged, feeling the magic in the air. Elias grasped Asher's hand, their fingers entwined, a physical manifestation of their bond. Asher is not just an Omega, he is my mate, my partner. Together, we will lead this pack into a future where love and acceptance reign. The energy in the clearing shifted, the pack's resistance melting away like snow under the warmth of the sun. Derek stepped back, uncertainty clouding his features. But what about tradition? What about strength? Strength evolves, Elias replied, his voice steady, and so must we. I will not sacrifice my mate for outdated notions of power. Our love is our strength, and the pack must learn to embrace it. The silence hung heavy, each wolf grappling with a new reality. Asher's heart raced, hope blooming within him as he caught the gaze of those around him, feeling the shift in their hearts. Let us refine what it means to be a pack, Asher said softly, his voice carrying a warmth that wrapped around each wolf. Together, we can lead with love, acceptance, and courage. In that moment, the forest around them seemed to sigh, the very essence of the earth responding to their truth. The moon above shone brighter, revealing a path illuminated by destiny. With a final glance at Derek, Elias stepped forward, eyes fierce and unyielding. Are you with us? He called out, his voice echoing through the clearing. One by one, wolves began to nod, stepping closer, united by the bond they all shared. The pack began to shift, their loyalty redefined, hearts opening to love as potential. Together, Jace called out, stepping beside Elias and Asher. Together we will rise. As the forest embraced the night, the wolves howled in unison, a symphony of acceptance and love resonating through the trees. Asher felt Elias' warmth beside him, their bond solidified in that moment of conquering all. They were not just an alpha and an omega, they were destined partners, weaving a new narrative. As the echoes of solidarity faded into the night, the air remained charged, a palpable mixture of relief and uncertainty. Asher felt the weight of the pack's gaze, piercing yet softer, the harshness that once draped over him slowly lifting. Elias' hand clasped his, warmth radiating through their connection. We did it, Elias whispered, the corners of his mouth lifting into a smile that held the promise of better days. Asher turned to him, the moonlight casting a silvery glow over their entwined fingers. Did we? Asher asked, his heart fluttering with hope, yet headed by fear. What if they still don't accept me? What if Derek stirs them against us again? Their hearts are changing, Asher, Elias replied, his emerald eyes steady and filled with unwavering belief. You spoke from a place of truth, and truth has a way of reaching those who would rather turn away. Just then, Derek stepped back into the clearing, his expression one of simmering anger. You've corrupted the very essence of our pack with your naive idealism, he growled, the tension snapping like a taut wire. This isn't over, Elias. I challenge you to a duel, not just for your position but for the fate of this pack. Asher's heart dropped as fear clutched to his throat. Elias, you can he gasped, the words pouring out like a desperate plea. You've already proven yourself. This is... Elias' voice thundered with authority, cutting through the chaos. I want you back down, not for you, not for anyone. You may think strength is in the fight, Derek, but the real strength lies in the love we share. Asher looked at Elias, pride swelling in his chest, but doubt still lingered. What if you lose? What if this ends everything we've fought for? I want you lose, Elias promised, squeezing Asher's hand. And if I do, I will face it with honor. He turned back to the pack, a fierce determination etched into his features. But I need you all to believe in a new future, one where love and strength coexist. The wolves murmured amongst themselves, the seeds of doubt sown within Derek's heart starting to sprout. You speak of love, but do you understand its true power? Derek challenged, his voice laced with venom. Love can blind you, make you weak, and lead to your downfall. Asher stepped forward, heart racing. Love is not weakness, Derek. It is the very force that binds us, that gives us courage when we need it most. Despite the storm brewing within the pack, a flicker of hope ignited in the depths of Asher's heart. It is time for a new chapter, one where we stand united and embrace our differences. Derek let out a harsh laugh, a sound echoing through the clearing. You really think they'll follow you? You read just an omega, and I am the strongest warrior here. Strength is what this pack needs, not your flowery words. Strength is many things, Jace interjected, stepping beside Asher, his loyalty unwavering. It is loyalty, compassion, and the courage to change. Elias and Asher are showing us the way. Asher felt the rush of warmth at Jace's support, but the reality of Derek's threat hung heavily over him. Elias, he murmured, feeling the weight of the challenge looming. If it comes to a fight, please promise me you'll be careful. Elias nodded, his gaze fierce with resolve. I promise, but I need you to trust me, Asher. Our bond is unbreakable, and no amount of aggression can sever it. As the moon hung high, the stars twinkling like diamonds scattered across the night, the pack began to take sides. Some wolves moved closer to Elias, drawn by his conviction, while others remained with Derek, emboldened by their loyalty to tradition. Let us settle this once and for all, Derek shouted, his eyes blazing with fury. You against me, Elias, winner takes all. Elias stepped forward, determination etched into his very being. I accept your challenge, but know this, Derek, I fight not just for my title as Alpha, but for the love that binds me to Asher. Asher's heart soared and sank, caught in a whirlwind of emotions. Elias, please, he began, but the words fell away as the pack began to howl, rallying behind their chosen leaders. The atmosphere shifted, the air thick with anticipation and fear. As night deepened, the clearing transformed into an arena, the tension palpable. Tonight, we will see what true strength looks like, Derek spat, taking his place across from Elias. Asher stood at the edge, his heart pounding. You can do this, he whispered to himself, drawing strength from the bond they shared. You are more than a title, you are my heart. Elias and Derek circled one another, muscles coiled, eyes locked in a fierce glare. When you lose, remember this moment, Derek taunted, lunging forward with a growl. The impact resonated through the clearing as they collided, fur clashing, fangs bared. Every blow felt like a strike against Asher's heart, and he clenched his fists, fighting against the urge to run forward, to intervene. Elias, he cried out, desperation lacing his voice. You are strong, you are loved. With each exchange, Elias fought with a fierce resolve. The energy around him crackled, a reflection of the bond they shared. Asher could feel it, the connection coursing through him like wildfire. But doubt crept in again, gnawing at the edges of his heart. What if love wasn't enough? Focus, Elias. Jace shouted, his voice filled with urgency. Remember why you fight. Derek landed a blow, sending Elias reeling, and Asher's breath caught in his throat. No, he cried, the panic surging through him. Get up, Elias, you can let him win. Elias regained his footing, determination igniting in his eyes. I want back down, he declared, his voice fierce. And not for you, not for anyone. As the fight raged on, the pack began to shift, uncertainty reflected in their faces. With every clash, every growl, the line between loyalty and love blurred. He fights for something greater, one wolf whispered, glancing at Asher. Yes, another agreed, her voice trembling. He fights for love. And with that realization, the tide began to turn. The pack's loyalty wavered, and Asher felt hope bloom within him once more. Elias, you are not alone. Asher shouted, his voice breaking through the chaos. I believe in you. Fight for us. Elias's eyes flickered to Asher, and in that fleeting moment their bond strengthened. The power of their love surged within him, igniting a fire that pushed him forward. With renewed vigor, Elias surged at Derek, a wild roar escaping his lips. The force of their collision sent shockwaves through the clearing, and the pack gasped, caught in the raw emotion of the moment. You will not take him from me. Elias bellowed, each word filled with conviction. Our love gives me strength you cannot comprehend. Derek faltered, confusion clouding his features. Love is a distraction, you can't let it cloud your judgment. But Elias didn't waver. Love is what makes us whole, it is what binds us together as a pack. As if the forest itself responded, a gust of wind swept through the clearing, rustling the leaves. The pack's whispers grew louder, a chorus of support resonating through the trees. Let love lead us, Jace cried out, his voice a rallying cry. With every strike, Elias fought not just for his title, but for Asher and the future they dreamed of. The bond between them shimmered like a beacon, lighting the way forward. But fate is a fickle mistress. In a moment of distraction, Derek launched a final, powerful strike, knocking Elias to the ground. Asher's heart dropped, dread washing over him. "Ah!" Asher shouted, his voice raw with emotion. "Get up, Elias." But in that moment, the ancient wolf's words echoed in Asher's mind. Asterisk's strength lies not in size or ferocity, but in the courage to embrace who you are. Asterisk. With a surge of determination, Asher stepped forward, heart racing. "Elias." He reached for him, feeling the warmth of their bond pulsing through him. "You are my strength. Together, we are invincible." Elias's eyes flickered open, meeting Asher's gaze, and in that moment, something shifted. The love that bound them ignited a fire within Elias, a fierce power that surged through him, revitalizing his spirit. With a roar that shook the very ground, Elias rose to his feet, renewed with energy. "You will not take my love from me," he bellowed, charging forward with a ferocity that sent shockwaves through the clearing. In a flurry of movement, Elias and Derek clashed once more, but this time Elias fought